You got to know what's going down here. It's the real key. Now, like I told you before, to give you some other information. Told you before, you got to go rent They Live.
They Live. Oh, yeah.
And you look at the beginning of the movie, and look at the part of the TV. So I talked about this the last time in the lecture. And where they say that we are being induced with an artificial consciousness that resembles sleep. Where your conscious mind can be waking around, walking around, and your subconscious can be asleep. And that's why when you start talking about stuff that deals on a higher level to people that's asleep, they either get real quiet, or either they totally reject it, start arguing. That's because the subconscious mind is asleep. They say that we're being artificially induced with the we're being induced with the artificial consciousness that resembles sleep. And it was all based on a low radio frequency wave. Now, we also told you that the CDs have double tracks on them. So you can buy a CD and be listening to some music, and up under that shit can be the same low radio frequency wave putting your ass to sleep. And they pumping this stuff. You see what I'm saying? The other shit is the cell phones.
Right.
And them pages, but you got to understand some shit. Quit being a slave to conveniences. But motherfucker don't get in touch with me. Motherfucker just don't call me.
That's right.
Bottom line. Now, I'm not saying if you got a cell phone, fine. But you got to limit the use. Put it in your car so if your car breaks down. But all this bullshit, I'm looking at this thing, see, if you see, sometimes, when you're not noticing things, you just think it's just everyday life. But I just say today, I'm just going to look. I was up in Buckhead. Now, if you know it's white people doing it, you know black people mass doing it. And I said, I'm just going to look at the amount of cars with cell phones. And it got scary for a while, because I thought I was in a motherfucking movie someplace in Tucson. Everybody had a cell phone. Then I got on the train, and I'm seeing little black children in elementary school with cell phones, all little colors and shit. Real cheap. And we don't know what's going on. They got the cell phones, and what that shit is doing is artificially shutting people down. Then they came on the damn TV. They said, because we already know that the cell phone, you get memory loss. I got a guy, he was like, man, I'm having problems retaining memory. But yeah, he's always on the cell phone. I said, you know, I've been around you for 4 months now, and I've never come in your presence when that cell phone didn't ring and you had to get on it. Now, I said, now look at the psychosis here and look at the phenomenon. 10 years ago, it was unheard of. Now, how can you not do it something now, and 10 years ago you didn't even need it? You didn't know it was around. That lets you know that somebody's controlling your ass. That's right. It's mind control. That's right. Yeah. You see? So they got the cell phones going down. They came on TV, and they said, not only do we have memory loss, I heard that in the first of the year, 2 years ago. And the cancer, brain cancer, and all that shit. They said, your man Reginald Lewis, you remember him? The bald pediatrician? He died with brain cancer, right? Guess how he got brain cancer? Some motherfucker gave him a cell phone for his damn birthday. The crackers put some shit in his cell phone. They're probably carrying his little radio frequency wave all the way up. That nigga brain fried like this your brain on drugs. This your brain on the damn cell phone. You know, I'm fucking in. And that nigga died. What's that mean?
Early got AIDS. No.
No, he died with brain cancer. Then somebody get inside. I knew he died with brain cancer. When I first heard it in '93, I said, they got that nigga, they killed him.
That's right.
But then I heard what they did was they gave him a cell phone. You know, that was '93. He was one of the first people to get that shit because he rich. They had the shit already beat up. They probably had that nigga at the station turning up his shit. Every time he got on it, he got an electric shock and that nigga died. But guess what they said? Guess what they said on the news? They said that not only is it brain cancer, it's retained and losing memory. They say this shit is fucking with the DNA.
Oh, yeah. Thank God.
You see? It's messing with the DNA, which is all based on the energy inside of us, especially melanated people, because they're trying to stop an extraterrestrial invasion from your physical body. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing out there. Your cells. And that metal ion stuff that they're dropping, which deals with the cells. All this stuff is dealing with the damn cells. Cell phone.
Break it down.
Cell phone. So what they're doing is they're telling everybody, look, and if you notice now, if you don't have one, you about like the dinosaurs. You be like, I ain't got one. I'm about like the dinosaurs on your ass. You know what I'm saying? Well, see, that's how they get you. You ain't nothing. That's what they told you on 12 Monkeys. You ain't nothing unless you consume. That's what Marlon Brando said. He said, poor people are the enemy in this country. He said, poor people are just like murderers. They are the enemy, and they are criminals because they are poor and poor only. You see what I'm saying? So the cell phone, they got it in the cell phone. So my point is, if you got one, you got to limit the use on that shit. And see, they made it real feasible. They give you 100 free hours. They give you all these free. That's how they doing this shit. And they telling you, man, they got children, they got babies with this shit.
What about computers?
Well, I'm saying that's one part, but this phenomenon with this cell phone, because not everybody got computers. But then again, on the other hand, go back and look at the movie Batman Forever. They say we're gonna put a box in every house. That's with computers, as well as
the box on top of the TV.
On top of the TV. But the key here is this. I'm telling you, this is major now because they got them like Mickey Mouse, that big up, and they got them these little children and stuff. But what it's doing is it's shutting down the doggone consciousness, the subconscious mind. You got to know what time it is.